I think the really big milestone is actually 2030. For the global economy, they want to be halfway to net zero by then. That's not that far away. So I think it definitely is the case that you should be breaking it down into smaller chunks. I think most firms are doing that. It's not just about saying that we're committed to that end goal of net zero by 2050 or slightly beforehand in the case of some firms. I think it really is. You've also got to show that you're going to be making meaningful progress in the short term. I think it's also worth actually really reflecting on the fact that if you read a lot of the scientific reports that the IPCC have put out, they're very clear that actually it isn't just a long-term goal to 2050. And I think one of the striking things from the IPCC's report that they put out last month was that actually, if you don't take the steps along the road, if you don't meet the short-term goals, particularly the 2030 goal, there is a risk that even if you do eventually make the 2050 goal, so much harm will have been done that actually the downsides will be happening anyway. So I think it's really important to think actually this is a short-term goal on the way to a long-term kind of headline target. One of the key things we did in our roadmap was actually set a number of 2025 milestones. They're less about numerical targets and they're more about actions you should take. And there were two reasons for that. One was that actually, if you're not well advanced in your strategy, you won't meet the 2030 goals. So you need to know exactly what you're doing and trying to do in order to actually meet those goals. But also, secondly, the clear bit of feedback we got from the CEOs on the ABI board was that they wanted something that was in their timeframes. The cynic would say it's really easy to set a long-term goal that you know that you'll never be held to account to because you'll have left the organisation long before that time. And I think what the CEOs on the ABI board all said is, look, we want something that we can be personally held to account to. Most of the CEOs on the board, I think, would still be planning to be in their post at 2025. So, I think they've been very clear that they want something that actually, if they don't meet those goals, they'll be the people who have to answer for that. So I think there's a few. We would say, actually really think carefully about which of the net zero, race to zero organisations is right for you. There are a number of different options out there, right from the sort of science-based targets initiatives, business ambition campaign, across to some of the more sector-specific net zero Glasgow Alliance campaigns. So things like the Net Zero Insurance Alliance or the Net Zero Asset Owners Alliance. As far as we're concerned, ultimately they're all pointing in the same direction. So firms should probably be looking at what's the best partner organisation. I think internally, the key first step would be to really, all the ABI members will be doing various disclosures to the Bank of England and the FCA over the next year or two. Start looking at the results of that and thinking, what does that really mean for our strategy? How can we bring the different bits of our business on board? And I think the other piece that I would strongly say to ABI members, particularly on the general insurance side, is to really start thinking about what it means for your interactions with customers. It's very easy to make this a kind of quasi-academic exercise where you've got loads of really good spreadsheets and loads of numbers and your reporting's great. I think you need to be thinking about actually what we really do as a business is we help people across different parts of society and businesses and individuals in their homes and their cars, etc. Where can we change what we do to make it easier for them to be more sustainable? And I think that's when you can actually start looking at really practical steps within your products, and you can start thinking about it as an opportunity. You can also start thinking about bringing in people in the business who perhaps wouldn't, naturally take any interest in the accounting or reporting side of what you do. But when you start talking about product development and talking about customer services, I think that means you can get more people involved and enthused. And I think that's the way that you can start to have meaningful change.